Good evening, you guys on Zoom. Can you hear me okay? Does it sound good or does it sound muffled?
It's good.
Yes, you sound good.
I can hear you, Miss Jackson, loud and clear.
We can't hear you guys, so we're gonna turn you up a little bit. Hold on for 1 second.
Leon.
Okay.
Leon, take yourself off mute. Can you hear me okay?
Madam
You're on
President,
mute. Take yourself off mute.
Won't let him move. All right. There you go. Right now.
Okay, try it now.
Okay, now. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
hold on, because you're coming in real low, so stay off mute.
Let me see if I turn my speaker. What about now?
Try now.
Try now.
Okay,
Okay, hold on, we gotta do it again.
all right.
All right, Leon, go ahead, talk.
Hello, everyone. How do you hear me? Can you hear me at all?
We
Yes.
can hear you, but hold on, you faint. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, Leon, go ahead, try it again.
Okay, hello, everyone.
Perfect, that sounds good. Can you hear me good, Leon?
Yes, hear you fine.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, it is almost 10 after 6. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending. Our people in person, on Zoom, on YouTube, good evening and thank you. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm trying to see. I don't see any chaplains in here. Is there anyone that'd like to open us up in prayers? Well, our council person, District 3. How about you open us up in prayer, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner. Commissioner.
Hello. Father, we ready.
I'm ready, thank you.
Can you come to the podium?
There's no mic up there, dude.
You don't need to
It's right there, okay. We all said something, thank you.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for tonight. Father, we thank you for President Jackson, God. We thank you for giving her visions, directing her tonight. We thank you for the officers. We thank you for your hands upon them. Keep them safe, God. Leading and guiding them by your spirit. We thank you that your hand rest upon the 11th Precinct, God, with your spirit of life and protection and safety. We thank you for the community here today, God. Let something be said that'll bring life to them, that'll inspire them, that'll bring them into a place of hope, God. Even those out in Zoom, Facebook, let something be said to inspire them, lift their hopes up in the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
And we cover this prayer in the blood. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Commissioner. And just in case no one or anybody on Zoom, that was our Commissioner, Cedric Banks of District 3. And he will speak to us later on this evening. So thank you for opening us up in prayer tonight.
You're quite welcome, President. It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to do it, President.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. We do not have a police report tonight. Some things have come up and they didn't get a chance to get together. So we apologize for that, but we'll make sure that you guys have it for next month. I'm gonna go ahead and get into my report since we don't have a police report. And we'll get back to all of our commissioners and our judges, and we're gonna get into everybody, our clergies, we're gonna get into everybody's updates. But I'm gonna skip that for the moment. I'm gonna get right into my report. So this past Saturday, October the 8th, we had our Faith in Blue prayer and memorial with the balloon release. And unfortunately, it did not turn out the way I thought it should have turned out. It should have been a ton of community people there, and it was not. I was a little disappointed in that. However, we moved forward and we had a good day. We were there maybe an hour, if that. We had our prayer at Cranswood Park, and from there, we did the balloon release. So it was a nice morning. It was kind of brisk, so I know probably turned a lot of people off, but it was brisk. My coffee got cold quick. So but just to let you guys know, the Wilder Library, they have 2 events coming up. The first event is going to be October 31st, and that will be, they're going to do a Halloween party. They're going to do a Halloween party, and that's going to be from 4 to 4:30. Okay, so everybody knows the Wilder Branch Library is on 7 Mile, 7140 East 7 Mile. So from 4 to 4:30, they're gonna do games and crafts. From 4:30 to 5, they're gonna do not so scary Halloween stories and tricks. And then from 5 to 7:30, they're gonna have distribution of candy only while it lasts. So just because it say 5 to 7, they're not going to 7. They're only gonna go until that candy's gone. Okay, so please share that with your community members and your church members and let them know. Come on, let's have a good time out there. Also, their next event, and it's gonna be that same week, they're gonna do a project art. It's a free art class that they're gonna do ages 4 to 18. There's 3 different locations, but the Wilder Branch is doing theirs, and their event is on Thursday. And that's gonna be from 4 to 5, but their age range is gonna be from 6 to 12. Okay? And it's a free class. They're doing all the supplies, they're providing everything. They have local and professional artists to teach the class. So it's gonna be a very, very interesting week for the kids, okay? So, but remember the age range, even though it's 4 to 18, they're only accepting 6 to 12. Okay? Also, Halloween is around the corner. So here's what we gonna do. And yes, I'm gonna be biased. I want number 11 to show up and show out.
That's good.
That's the bottom line. Okay, bottom line. We're looking for 26 cars. We're doing trunk or treat. I want 26 cars. And here's what has to happen. We need you guys to register, but we don't want to get too out of control. We want to stay in this 26 window. So I'm gonna need you guys to please, if you plan on doing trunk or treat, or you know anybody that's gonna do trunk or treat, so please RSVP, call up here to the station and let them know you want to participate in trunk or treat. Okay, that's going to be from 4 to 7 on the 31st. The 31st falls on a Monday. Okay, that is definitely going to be on a Monday. The best car that's decorated or the best trunk will win a prize. Going to get a trophy. Okay, so when you come up with the car, you got to come up with a cute decoration. So you can't just come in the car with a bunch of candy. You got to come decorate it. Yeah.
Talking about the car that you drive?
Yeah.
Okay.
We want that
Best
truck
car
up.
There's best car decorated.
Yep, and whatever car is decorated the best gets the trophy.
And accessories to the car, like if you got like a little tent or something you pop up and set up tables and all that, it's about branding as well.
And or costumes to go with your thing,
Yeah.
whatever your thing.
Okay, so again, I want us to show up and show out. I want to go all the way out this year because Now we're able to get the kids to start coming back and they don't have to drive through and run. We want these kids to walk through that parking lot and I want them to enjoy themselves. I don't care if it's just for that one night, but those kids should be able to come out and feel safe. And I want them to enjoy themselves. So please make sure. I saw your hand up. I'm sorry.
Yes, is it mandatory that your car has to be decorated?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And the only reason, let me tell you why I say yes, is because that's what this is about. It's about Halloween. And it's about the kids coming. I don't care if it's just an orange string across the car. At least just put something Halloween there. If it's just a, you know, a cutout something, I don't care what it is. Put it up there. Okay, just something. I don't care what it is, but I do want the kids to come up to the cars and see something. Okay, whether it's a costume, whether it's the car, whatever it is. I want them to come out and have a good time. The next thing is that we're going to need candy. We have not been able to donate candy since COVID hit. And I want us to come out in full force with our candy. We are going to start accepting candy now. So what I want you, or I ask you guys to do, is bring candy. And when you bring the community relations, they're gonna have a gigantic box. And we're gonna start putting candy in there. So that at the time on Monday, we'll be able to start. If you choose to bring some more Monday, that's even better. But let's start bringing it in now so we can distribute. Yes, sorry.
Candy should be individually wrapped. So whatever candy you bring, it should be already wrapped inside that.
So is it that the precinct is gonna, we bring the candy and they hand it out, or will the candy be in each individual cars they hand it out?
That's what we're gonna do. They're gonna be in each individual car and you guys are gonna hand it out. We're gonna take them and we're gonna mix all the stuff we get together, do a big mix. And then everybody's gonna get candy. Now, some people like to bring candy on that day as well and just keep it at their car. I don't care. But whatever we bring here or collect here, we're gonna mix it all together and then we're gonna distribute to all the different cars. So if we're looking for 26 cars, we're looking for a lot of candy. And I'm going to say that I will make sure that at least the community relations, our council, we will be donating candy as well. So we will make sure that we participate in this as well.
And we got business owners, boy, they're gonna participate as well.
Oh, we always participate. They always.
Wonderful,
Yes. Yes.
wonderful, that's wonderful.
Yes. So like I say, I want us, because this is the year for a lot of concern, we gonna take it there. I want us to go there this year. And I want us to make sure that these kids that come out, because we have a lot of kids in the area. And we know we get kids from everywhere. We want to make sure that everybody gets something. Okay? All right. Any questions? Concerns? Anybody on Zoom? You got any questions or concerns? Raise your hand or make a motion. Got a hand I see up there, number.
All right, something I'll get you.
Okay, unmute yourself. Oh, that's Pat. Hi, Pat.
Hello, everyone. I just have a quick question. When do you want the candy at the precinct? What date again? I may have missed that.
We're gonna start taking candy now, and you're gonna bring it to the community relations office. Whatever officer or NPO is in there, just give them that candy and they'll make sure that they get it into our big, huge candy box.
Okay, and it ends at the 31st?
We'll take them all.
Yes, we'll take it up to the 30th.
Okay, we're gonna take it up until say noon on the 31st.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
It's not their bundle, they just need to bring it if they come to.
Okay, and if you don't have it here by noon and you still want to participate, just make sure you bring it with you when you come here on the 31st.
Okay, so, okay.
But we're gonna cut it off at noon as far as we're concerned, so we can mix up everything good. But if you still want to donate, just bring it when you come. Yes, ma'am, question.
What about the people who don't want to go out and buy the candy, but they don't mind giving the money?
I'll take the money.
You don't mention about that, okay?
Yeah, community relations, the council, I will take the money, and what I'll do probably around maybe the 30th, 29th, 30th, then I'm gonna go to Costco And then I'll go get candy and then I'll bring it back here. So if you choose to donate money, what I need you to do is make sure you put it on in an envelope. And on that envelope, put 11th Precinct Community Council, the council on there. Okay, because that's me, that's us, we're the community council. So I want to make sure that you guys make sure that I get it. And then I'll go out and I'll purchase the candy for you all, okay? And you can also drop that off here too as well. You can drop that off there and one of the NPOs will take it. They'll call me and say, can we have XYZ here? I'll pick it all up at one time and take care of our business, okay?
Wonderful.
All right, so that you guys, yes, you can start doing that, yeah. With the candy and money, we can start doing that now, so that at least at the last minute, we're not scrambling. So that at least give me a couple of weekends to take my time and say, okay, I got X amount, let's get this much. And then whatever comes in that following week, then I'll go that weekend and I'll grab some. So that will be perfect. Money and candy can be accepted now. I see a hand up, but I can't see a name.
Dr. Moore.
Oh, Dr. Moore,
You. Yes.
take yourself off mute.
Okay, can you hear me, Madam President?
I can hear you now. Good evening.
Hello, Sergeant Spruce, good evening. My question to the Community Relation Council is this. Do you need bags for the candy? Are you gonna be bagging up candy this year, or you just want the candy only?
We only want candy. We don't need to bag them. And I'm gonna tell you why. Is because of this trunk or treat, the kids should come with their own good bag. So all we're gonna do is grab some candy and throw it in whatever item that they have. So we don't need any bags this year at all. So thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other hands?
That's it on the hands.
You can have in your car, you can have all kind of ornate, dealing with your decorations. So you got a thing, you got a small casket with a box, you got, whatever. And that's when you're gonna take your candy out when they come and say trunk or treat. You're gonna go in there, whatever device you came up with in the trunk of your car, and you're gonna put it in their bag. So it should go right with your decorations. If you got bats all over the car, get you a cardboard box. Make you a back box. You can take candy out of a back box, that kind of thing.
All right, so are we good? Any other questions? Concern?
Make sure we still thinking about COVID and we're being as sanitary as possible.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and we haven't forgot about COVID. So we are still gonna, be sanitized. And if you want to have like a hand sanitizer at your station before you pick up the candy or do whatever you need to do to protect you. If you choose to keep wearing a face mask, that's whatever you want to do. We are still being protected. So that's however comfortable you feel, that's what you guys should do, okay? And that's make sure that you share that with whom else may want to participate in trunk or treat. Okay? We also have another event. And this event we call Pack a Police Car for Veterans. Veterans Day is going to be next month. So what they're doing is October the 12th, that's tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
Okay. From 11 in the morning to 7 in the evening. Our explorers are gonna be at the DMCU, that's the credit union on Jefferson. And they're going to take donations. What they're looking for: toiletry, face cloth, bath towels. Monetary donations are accepted as well, and you will make that payable to, here we go, D as in dog, P as in Paul, S as in Sam, F as in Frank, attention, ATTN, veteran. Okay.
So that's a Detroit Public Safety Foundation. And so any monetary donations should be made to the Detroit Public Safety Foundation. And so that's the abbreviation she just gave you guys. And in the memo part, put veterans, so that they'll know which account that it's gonna go towards, things like that. But if I may, Madam President,
Absolutely.
so we do have boxes at every precinct, like we have one out here. So if you guys don't get an opportunity to come out tomorrow, the kids will be out tomorrow when they get out of school, and we'll be hanging out there all day. But still, you can make a donation of any of these items at any precinct or at the Detroit Public Safety headquarters all month, all throughout the month of October. So anybody want to donate, you got several different opportunities. If not, you know, coming out tomorrow, like I said, you got all the rest of the month at any precinct. And if anybody got any questions about that, you know, definitely give a call to the precinct. One of us will be able to help you guys out.
Okay, do we have any questions? In person or on Zoom? Any questions about the event? Okay. You have a hand, oh, Pat home. Hi, Pat.
Hi, I'm sorry. Could you place that information in the chat?
Yep, we'll put it in there for you. Yes, we will.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay, that's all that I have. Did I miss anything? Okay. What we're gonna do is I do have, and I'm not sure if they're online. I have a representative from Crime Stoppers. Are they online? I don't see no. Can you see if we have anybody from Crime Stoppers? They weren't sure who it would be.
Do we have a representative from Crime Stoppers? If so, you can unmute yourself, please.
Okay, well, we're gonna keep it moving until we have a representative. So I see quite a few people that's gonna be giving us updates. So what I'm gonna do, Commissioner Banks, is there any updates? And we'll start with you. Is there any updates you wanna provide us that we should know about, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you come to the, yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
See that one, that's one right here. I think that might be.
That's the person. Okay. One second here. Sorry, Ms. Jackson.
You want me to go to the next one? Or you want-
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, I'll give you, yeah, no, that's fine. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm just now starting to speak out of headquarters. I'm just now starting to go to platforms and speak out, but only I just. speak
Okay,
out in-
whenever you're ready, just let me know.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, so now we're gonna go, I see Commissioner Kinlock. How are you this evening? Are you off mute? I see your hand up.
Yeah, he should be able to take his hand off mute. I'll help him out.
Okay.
I'm stuck on mute. Sorry about that.
Good evening, how are you?
To say good evening. I'm glad to be joining you tonight. I have myself, Sherry Johnson from my office is also on. If you need any assistance, please feel free to reach out to me. My office number is 313-224-0916. and I'll share my email and other contact information on in the chat. I'm sorry. And you know, just look forward to listening and hearing if there's any concerns or questions you may have. Thank you.
Okay, can you repeat the phone number a little bit more slowly? People were writing it down. So can you do it again, please?
Sure. 313-224-0916.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sherry, I see you're on. Anything you would like to add? Good evening, and thank you for joining us as well.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you good. Thank you.
Okay, well, no new updates for me. I'm just excited about this, the being still in the land of the living, still practicing safety first, wearing my mask, washing my hands consistently, and staying vaccinated.
Well, that's, we're glad that you're still here with us. That's a blessing too. So thank you.
Yes, it is.
Can I see the names on the side? You know, can you see them? I'll go on to the inside stage. Let's see, who else do we have online? I'm trying to see who else we have here. Yep. Do we have Merlin Martin on? Do we have any of the judges, Sean Perkins or? Okay, there we go. Yeah, we got him already. Okay. I just wanted to make sure we were good. I just don't want to skip anybody. Okay, so at this point, do we have any questions or concerns you guys want to reach out to the NPOs about, since we have them? We have Sergeant Spruce available, we have Officer Robinson, we have Officer Williams. Are there any concerns you need to bring up to us, via in person or on Zoom? Any issues that need to be addressed? Or any issues that have been addressed that you told us about, but we haven't gotten to them yet? Nothing online, so everybody's hungry to, oh, I see E. Owen. Okay, unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. I would just like to say hello to everyone. Good evening to everyone that is present. I have a concern, and this concern comes from our Block Association vibe. And we have been in need of help with basketball rims in our area. We've been putting in complaints about them all summer, since the spring. And it really got kind of a nuisance when I was showing someone a property and the kids were in the street and would not let us pass. And also, we have several cars that are damaged and plates are expired and they have been reported, but nothing has been done. So we just like to know, what is it that we're supposed to do to alleviate these nuisances in our neighborhood? It's really making our neighborhood look shabby. And we have a lot of nice homes, brick homes, and owners. And they are very upset with what's going on, that nothing has been addressed.
Can you give us a call? Give us a call right now if you like at 313-596-1118. We're gonna take your information down. The problem with the basketball hoops this season, normally the basketball hoops get towed by the towing companies. Everybody is claiming they don't have enough help, and they're keeping their people mostly dealing with the cars. So we have not had a way of getting these hoops up. So what we have been doing is going out knocking on doors and telling them to move them, but I don't think that's working. And so what we're gonna have to do is gonna have to find a company that can actually come and tow these basketball hoops. The thing with the A-band cars, they came up with some new systems and some new towing policies. So what we have to do now, we have to put a sticker on them, we have to wait 24 hours, and we have to come back. So if you call that number, please give us the address and the location of those vehicles. If it has a license plate on it, give us a license plate. If not, give us the address of the homes that it's near. We cannot tow on private property. If it's on the street, we can tow, we can put a tag on it, and after 48 hours, we can tow it.
Was that helpful for you, Ms. Owen?
Yes, it was. I am about to call right now. I have already done that several times. Actually, the last community meeting that we had, I did the same thing. So I will do that again, and I will be calling in about 5 minutes.
Okay, someone is waiting for your call.
Oh, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Yes, thank you.
Mary Ann Wyndham.
Mary Ann Wyndham. And then that's Pat Bosch next?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Mary Ann, after you, then Pat, you're next, okay?
After Pat.
Okay. Mary Ann, you're there with us?
Okay, yeah, my name is Floyd Harris and my wife, Andrea Harris. They have Mary Ann's name up under her. She's our neighbor.
Oh, okay, thank you.
No problem. We're from A Special Streets, and we're here on Lance, just in the block east of Van Dyke. And we've talked several times with our block club and with the councilman about getting permits to park on the street, because we live right near, we're a couple of houses from the barbershop, dental office, and the beauty salon, right there at Van Dyke and Lance. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's almost impossible for us to pull into our driveway because we can tell what day of the week it is by the cars that are parked on our street. And last week is not the first time. We've had people blocking our driveway. And we had been told about the ability to get parking permits for the residents on this street. And it's never gone beyond talk. We've come to the precinct several times and left several messages, but haven't gotten any type of response. What do we have to do to get the permits?
See, that's gotta come from Councilman Scott Benson's office, because the officers can't do anything about that.
That's
So
right.
here's what I'm gonna do. I will reach out to Councilman myself tomorrow morning,
Okay.
and I will talk to him and find out what is going on. So if you could call and leave your information, you have to tell all your information over, Zoom. Call community relations, because somebody's in there now. Leave me your name and a phone number. After I talk to Councilman, then I'll call you, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right.
The number again was at 596-1118.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you all are giving these numbers out and telling us to call and call. We call and we call and we call and we call. Now, when we call a special individual that help us to clean block up, you all get an attitude.
Well, don't say you all, because I'm not getting mad, because I'm taking all the help we can get.
That one individual, when we call him, he's there, Johnny on the spot. But then when y'all, the officers in here, they get an attitude because we called.
Ooh, I don't get the.
No, you just don't show up. You just don't show up.
What y'all need to know, hold on a minute. This is what you guys need to know. 99% of the time, I'm not gonna show up.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not, that's not my job to show up. My job is to make sure somebody else shows up.
They don't show
Okay,
up.
so let's talk about what they haven't been showing up on.
Bandit car.
Okay, now wait a minute, now, I'm gonna stop, I feel you guys, I feel, but here's the deal, and let's just be realistic. We know they're supposed to help us, but if downtown calls them and have them to do something other than police this community, that is what they have to respond to. So you guys may have complaints out there, and it's just realistic, because I had to learn it the hard way, so I'm just gonna share what I learned. If I say, they may say, we're gonna try to get out there tomorrow, and I don't see them for 3-4 days, 5 days, if longer. If downtown calls, downtown gets the priority, period, in the discussion. And then they will come back and they will start where they left off. Depending on if downtown calls them again, then they're gonna have to get pulled away. Of course, it's not fair to us, but their presence is downtown, when that chief asked for their NPO.
Well, they're gonna pay in taxes, then that's the case.
Well, now, y'all get in the, I mean,
So if how many individuals, like Officer Robinson, okay, do they both be downtown at the same time?
it's very possible, it could be all five of them.
This is what I want you to do, because it's just, this is gonna be prolonged discussion. So this is what I'm gonna do to speed this thing. Give me your information. Give me the car.
Get a car color.
Okay, give me all of that. And tomorrow,
Okay.
shake it. Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
somebody will be out and put some more stickers on that car. Okay? Now, before you leave here tonight, I wanna make sure I have that. Okay? Who else? Miss McKay.
Ms. McCann.
Yes, how is everyone this evening? Okay, I have received several phone calls from my neighbors. One is a young lady who works at night. The neighbor across the street has 2 vehicles in the driveway, won't park on his side of the street, parks on her side of the street with his fronting and blocking. It's causing havoc from where somebody else, I guess, is parked on that side of the street to turn in or even to back into her driveway, coming in at 3-4 in the morning when she gets on. So I just want to know, is there any, what can, other than neighborly, will you not park on this side of the street, put all them cars in your driveway, or park the vehicle on your side of the street, which means you won't be blocking your
Let me ask you
driveway?
this, Ms. McKay. Are these vehicles all registered and plated, and do they all run?
Will they be moving? I ain't gonna say they're ready.
Here's the thing. And unless there's a sign prohibiting you from parking on either side of the street, you can park your car on either side, whatever side of the street you want. You got 100 cars. It's not neighborly, but it's nothing against the law that you can legally park in your car on the street.
Okay, but I guess her concern is trying to come in at night, which means because my street is a one-way.
Right.
Sometimes she has to go back out on Sherwood and make a U-turn and come up the wrong way. Cause she can't, if the way he's pulled up.
She tried talking to him.
That's Ray.
Okay, so he's not neighborly, or she don't think he's neighborly.
That ain't, that's Ray.
Okay.
So I'm just.
So legally, there's nothing we can do about that. If those cars are legally plated, those cars are legally parked, we can't move.
Okay. I got you. Okay, it's just something, you know, sometimes the neighbors, they call, and like right now, she at work. Cause I told her, I said, well, you need to go to this meeting tomorrow. But anyway, she at work. So I do understand, and I understand the frustration of her coming in late at night.
Give me his address, we'll knock on the door and talk to the neighbor.
All right,
But he still don't have to be neighborly when we talk.
absolutely.
He can tell us where to go.
Okay,
Okay, but I guess we can take that better than the neighbor can.
okay,
Make sure we get that information.
okay.
Pat, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I'm sorry, I put somebody in front of you and that was wrong. So can you, take yourself off mute?
Good evening, everyone. If I'm talking too loud, please just wave your hand. I can't adjust the volume. But good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. I have several questions and some concerns. Question number one, am I the only one having difficulty dialing in and inserting the word community by numbers? I tried it again tonight when I tried to dial in and it was rejected. So I know, Kim, you said that you were going to check out the password, but I had trouble just a few minutes ago. So that's something that might be connected to my phone if I'm the only one having that problem, but thought I'd mention it again. Secondly, because I tuned in late and I do apologize, I wondered if anyone had brought up the incident that was on the news about the shooting near Pershing High School on 7 Mile Road. Is there any new news on what might have caused that and who's to be responsible?
No, Ms. Boss, that case is still under investigation. All we know is the individual, a car pulled up. We do have some footage from a green light. And so the investigation is still active. We don't know why and how. We do know what happened, but we don't have a suspect or anything yet. We're still investigating this case.
Because we are concerned, this is not the first one. There have been some on Davison, Mount Elliott, 8 Mile, you name it, and it is going on. And I don't know if it's related to underground drug sales or vendettas, but it seems to be getting more pronounced. And of course, that doesn't help attract people to our neighborhood. So the third reason I'm calling or asking that to be recognized, it's my understanding that the police department can do a criminal background check on a party. And I'm wondering if you need some special paperwork to make that request and what would be the charge as well as how long it would take to do the criminal background check on a given person.
Now, are we talking about criminal background checks for a job?
It would be for tenancy, to be a tenant in a public housing, low-income housing tax credit project.
Basically, the police department background checks for jobs or whatever. We don't do a whole lot of background checks to see if you are okay to be in a apartment building or a tenant. But that's something you would have to contact our fingerprinting unit, identification unit, to see if that's something they do. Normally, they don't do that, and there is a charge if you're trying to do that for a job. You got to get a clearance for a job, but that's not something that we readily do background check on you for being a tenant.
Okay, thank you for that response. And then my last reason is to do with Van Dyke. It's a traditional Main Street overlay district. And we reported this before, but people are using it, vacant lots to sell cars, which is a forbidden activity. And then diesel trucks are still parking on Van Dyke and Bliss Street. So is there anything we can do to help the police department honor the traditional Main Street overlay district and get that improved?
Yes, ma'am. When you see that happening, if it's not happening after hours, you can give us a call so we can send somebody out to give these individuals some tickets.
Would that be the Community Relations Department?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate your help. Bye-bye.
Miss Sneed. Who was next? He said Sneed.
Sneak, oh, yeah, and then, the young lady here, and then you had a question, okay. Okay, Miss Sneed, can you take yourself off mute?
Yes, I'm off mute, and this will be quick. I'm basically piggybacking off of what Pat just said. I'm really concerned about these drive-by shootings at stop signs or at stoplights. It just leaves all of us vulnerable to that type of activity. And I wondered even if it was gang related, and can we, because these things have been happening in the last several days, can we have more of a police presence throughout the neighborhood? I've seen a few, but not that many. The next thing I know, there's another shooting. So I hope that it's taking some sort of priority with the 11th Precinct. That's all I have to say. Very concerned about it, though.
Okay, we all should be concerned about that. But here's the problem. If we put an officer on every corner or a scout car on every corner, it's gonna happen somewhere else where we don't have a scout car. We have increased our patrols, but these things are kind of random. So we don't know when they're gonna happen next. Sometimes it's dealing with road rage. Other times it's dealing with a beef. Other times it's dealing with some other criminal activity. So we don't know exactly when and where. We end up getting their after pass happen.
And then I'm gonna stop you, Sarge, because see, this is where shot spotters come in, where everybody down in the dogging. But now this is the time when shot spotters will send off a signal and immediately releases the car right out there. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. So this is the point where shot spotters will be something that would work out in an area, especially like you're saying, at a stoplight, at a stop sign. That's where this comes in. And and I don't know, many people probably heard my big mouth.
It was approved by council.
And I just heard that too. Yeah, I saw an email and I was so happy that it was approved. And people were saying, the price tag was so hefty. But here's my thing, and I'm gonna say it a gazillion and 10 times if I have to. We could talk until we blew in the face, but not near one of us are out there doing not a quarter of what these officers are doing. Because I'm gonna be the first one taking off. I'm gonna tell you that. And I'll thank God for them because they're gonna be there to have my back. So if I hear something or they hear something, I need somebody to have my back because I'm running. So I'm not gonna be able to take it nothing. So we're gonna need that, and it's easy for us to say where this money should go and who should do what, but we're not there doing not a quarter of what they're doing. And I don't think the ask us our opinion on something that they are using for their job. I just don't think they're telling you what they need, and that's what they should get, is what they need. We don't have a lot of officers, but whatever tools that we could get to help them, that is what we should be doing instead of trying to hurt them. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Okay, so next.
Oh, and she's here. Yeah, hi. They were talking about Karen's abandoned.
Yeah.
In the last meeting, she had District 3 manager. Yeah. They had the inspector on, District 3 inspector, they have one. And I did call, he gave us a number, I don't have it on me. Okay. And about abandoned car parked in my neighbor's yard, it's in Park Arlington. Yeah. And I did get an item number for it. And they are behind, like the guy said, within 30 days, at least behind like everybody else. Right. But I did get a trace number and a tracking number. So I'm gonna wait patiently within another 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna call and see what the follow-up is on it. Okay.
Oh, wow.
But this all happened in the last District 3 management meeting.
District meeting, which is on the 4th Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. We're currently via Zoom. And I anticipate it's being that way until maybe March of 2023, until hopefully Farwell will be up and open for us to come and congregate together. But really quickly to your point with the abandoned vehicles and cars.
Can we have you done to the podium?
Sorry.
Uh, good evening, family.
Good evening.
Good evening. So Diana is Assams, District 3 Manager for the Department of Neighborhoods. And I was just sharing that we have a virtual meeting every fourth Tuesday at 6 p.m. via Zoom. So you're welcome to attend and learn more information as it relates to your district, how to navigate certain resources and information. I was also wanting to just respond to the topic of abandoned vehicles. Now, there's two ways to handle those. And sometimes as it relates to our GPD officers, you guys can't ticket if it's on private property, correct?
Right.
Right. So I just wanted to make sure that we were clear as it relates to how the process works. You may have already spoke about this, but just wanted to touch on that we do have a District 3 inspector, specifically just for our residential and commercial corridors. His name is Michael Awada. Now, if you have an area in your residential district that you want us to come and investigate or take a look at, you can either give myself a call, and my number is 313-348-8464. And I'm gonna make sure everyone that's here receives a resource guide that has my contact number, my deputy's contact number, and it also has additional resources for you as a Detroiter. And so I want to make sure that you have this information because it's so important that you're able to know what's going on. I also.
Your name one more time. Your number, please. One more time.
Sure, 313-348-8464 for those in the back on Zoom. Okay. So and my deputy's number is 313-236-3504. His name's Gerald Harris. And we are here to serve you with your District 3 needs. Quickly, I just also want to speak to, for those of you that are homeowners, we have a 30-day, well, not 30 days anymore because today is about 11. We have 29 days. Oh, yeah. Am I wrong? My math is so bad. 19 more, it is. Today's the 11th, so we have until the 31st. We have 20 more days until the Hope Renew grant application is supposed to be put in. So if you are a senior of 62 years of age, if you've never received a grant from the city before, and you qualify for the Hope property tax exemption, which is used to be called the HP TAP program. And that basically is an application that exempts you to a certain percentile of your taxes for your city taxes, depending on your income. So it goes by your income. If you meet those 3 criteria, I know everyone, I know, but if you do meet those criteria, or if you know someone that does, you might not meet the criteria, but you know someone who does and who could use that assistance. We're in phase 2, and they're covering 1,000 roof or windows. Can't have both. You get to pick which one you most need. And so they're doing this through that process because they're trying to identify those that are really at the highest need, because we don't want them to fall further behind as it relates to their home repairs, because that brings them even more housing insecure. And then that can lead to more serious challenges such as homelessness and other things because their home is deteriorating. And we don't want that. And so let me give you, they can call a number. And I'm going to give you a number that they can call to fill out the application of the Hope property tax exemption. And that number is 313-244-0274. Again, that number is 313-244-0274. And that's for the Hope application. And if you would like to learn more information about the Renew grant through the city of Detroit, you can feel free to contact my office. You can also come up to the precinct to get a resource packet. I'm going to leave some extra ones here as well. Anything else?
Are those numbers in that booklet?
The numbers may or may not be in this booklet because this booklet was made. Possibly without them, but
Okay, could you give me the number to the Hope applicant?
I sure can. That's what I'm needing. That number for the Hope application is 313-244-0274. And it is in here. It is in that. In this application. So this particular resource guide goes over a whole lot of different things, such as resources for animal control, employment, health and wellness, housing and taxes, senior housing, utility assistance. So it's a great thing to have as a resource for you or your family or friends on your block. A lot of you that are here become like the whole block's, that resource and the one to call. So this can just help you navigate to supporting them a little bit better. And if it's not in here, you can try to give me a call and we may be able to connect the dots.
What's your
with
name
you.
again?
My name's Kayana Sassam, Kayana Sassam, and it's I'm the District 3 District Manager for the Department of Neighborhoods.
We got two questions. We have one from Dr. Moore.
Hi, Dr.
And then
Moore.
we have Leon Wired.
Okay. Dr. Moore, can you take yourself off mute?
Yeah, if I can do it. Hello. Yeah, she just answered the question. I wanted the resource guide package. And she just said that we could contact her office and she would make sure that we get one.
Okay. Hello.
Leon Wire was there.
Okay, Mr. Wire, you're next. Leon Wire.
Yes, can you repeat the inspector, Michael Waters' number?
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat.
It's in, okay, all right.
I'm gonna pass these out. Did anyone have any questions for me? I'm gonna make sure everybody gets one. You're welcome. Of course.
Yes, you have a question in the back?
Yes, I do. You know, when you, when the people come around and clean the streets. And you know what, they put the signs out, not parking, 7:30 to 5:30 on that certain day. When I was a little girl, they were very strict about that.
Yeah.
And if your car was there, you would get a ticket.
Yep.
And now, as you know, time goes on and this has happened. I live on Marks. And when the street cleaners come, I see cars.
Yep, and all they do is go around the car.
All they do is go around, all they do is go around the car. I don't see nobody getting tickets, right?
Okay.
And also,
How many used to get the ticket?
sorry.
Parking enforcement, back when they would, back in the day, when you coming up or whatever,
Yeah.
parking enforcement, they would be notified. They would notify parking enforcement. Parking enforcement would have a route on the street name. Parking enforcement would be the ones who went out and put all those tickets on the car.
Oh,
But now, because, don't nobody have enough help, we've gotten away from that. So a lot of times when you guys call us, by the time y'all call our office that day, it's too late. But parking enforcement don't do it anymore. Those just be the ones who tear you up when the people used to run to move their car.
And also for some safety concerns that they had, because some of those parking enforcement officers were, I guess getting, they were being upset. People were upset at them, and so they had some issues, and so for their safety, they kind of try and keep them downtown, but not in the neighborhood.
Wait a minute, go ahead and repeat your question. You said- No, you said something about the police. Go ahead. Repeat what you said. I got an answer for it.
What about the police?
But here's the problem with the police. Here's what the deal is with the police. When y'all call 911, the police got to come to that. So we got to deal with the more serious stuff. Some things we have to put aside. So going out to put a parking ticket on a car on a day when the street is being cleaned and somebody's house is being broken into or somebody's being shot at, Which one do you think we're gonna deal with? There you go, or the house was being broken. That's what we're gonna deal with. So what we have to do a priority on, we have to make choices. But just like everybody else, we don't have the police force we used to have 5, 10 years ago. We don't have the body anymore. So when you guys call 911, y'all, that's an emergency, right? So y'all expect 2 police officers or 4 police officers or 6 police officers, depending on what the situation is. Somebody got to show up. So we can't be out trying to write tickets for the street cleaner when that 911 radio is still running. Some days the cars are doing like this. They going from call to call to call. Okay.
We get on the news, so we know you guys are very good.
Go ahead, man.
Yes, man, I was too.
Oh,
No, no,
Go ahead, man.
When, okay, I just want to get it clear.
Sure.
Put down. No parking between 7:30 and 5:30. When I was a little girl, that's what it meant. And when the signs were up, you could not park. Now, when the streets get clean, people park back.
Put their cars right back on the street.
And the signs are still present. Now, please correct me. I thought that when, as long as them signs were up, you could not park on the street.
Let me take it back a little bit. So even back in the day,
Yes,
once the street was clean,
yes.
the parking enforcement wouldn't do any more as parking enforcement. Because the main thing they wanted to do was make sure there were no cars there when the street cleaner came by. But even at the end of the day, you had them old wooden ones, they stick them out. And
Yes.
But even when we had parking enforcement doing that, after the street cleaner had been through, they wouldn't enforce the parking anymore.
Okay.
So you used to have people running. They clean in the street, they were running getting their car. Because you get that ticket. But once they pass, you don't get it, even though the sign says that. And the reason why the sign gave you such a width of time, because they didn't know exactly what time the street cleaners were going to get by that location.
Okay.
So it doesn't, once the street cleaner's gone by, they don't worry about, even if they're out there, they don't worry about getting tickets anymore.
Okay, I just wanted to get that cleared up because it's always people talking and everybody thinking that they know everything. But I'm coming to the story with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Find out too.
Yes, ma'am.
And you just cleared everything up. Thank you. Oh, sorry about that. My thing is, this lady got 3 cars in her driveway. None of them run.
Okay.
And we got 10.
And that's gonna be, John, let me come in here right quick. That's gonna be through the inspector, Michael One. That's the type of thing he would have to do. It's on private property in her driveway.
Yeah.
So he would have to go out, he would have to investigate him for having inoperable motor vehicles and road hardships. Those are the type of things that he would investigate. I don't know if we have all this number.
His number
We
is,
have to get it through, you got it.
313-480-4070.
Okay, 313.
480-4070.
Okay. And his name is Michael.
His last name is spelled A-W-A-D-A. Everybody get that number? Yes, ma'am.
Another thing is, my neighbor is, they rent this house. And
Okay.
we found out that they haven't paid taxes in 3 years. I guess it's probably almost, because they have put the kid paid taxes in 3 years, the landlord.
Yes,
They're taking the lady rent every month.
Mhm.
My problem is, they got this garage I got on my phone, where you got rats. Them big old, what's called raccoon, whatever, they go in and out the garage. And I called the landlord because I know the landlord, the guy that died is, one of the neighbors, this is his nephew. When he died, he was down and paid the tax, made a arrangement.
Yeah.
Sometimes they pay no more.
Okay.
So I'm having a problem with rats going in and out this garage, raccoons going in and out the garage, and I called the landlord, I called Scott Benson, I don't know how many times, I called Damon, the guy that's supposed to be working with Scott Benson, I can't get no help.
And you got the, sure, I'll refer that to you.
Okay,
Everybody, you're welcome. So it's getting cold out, so it's really important that we're making preparations as it relates to the rodents or things that are around and harboring these types of things.
Yeah.
So what I recommend is that the city does free abatement for rodents around your home. You can't call for the house next door, but you can call for your property and get your house abated. And so I would highly recommend before the winter months come in, because they look for homes, to get your home abated. And I will share that number that you can contact through BC and get that taken care of. Here it is.
While you looking for the number, can I just say something about the city coming out and baby?
Yeah.
They, the citizens must know that if you or your neighbor has pets, they will not bake.
Will kill your pets.
They would not be slipping in the board.
Yeah,
Okay, so,
you have to be really mindful about your
yeah,
property.
they will not, it doesn't matter, even if you call in and you don't have a pet. Sometimes even if the neighbor next to you has a pet and they look and they see that hole coming out from your property to their property or their property to your property, they will not bake. Right now, I have a tunnel that leads from the alleyway behind my neighbor's house coming into my yard. That little gopher will get him though. He coming through there. Okay, and because my neighbor won't pick up his dog poop, the rats are running ragged.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our issue, and I already know because he has dogs, they're not going to bake.
So, but he can also get a ticket for not cleaning his
They need to-
poop because that's an environmental hazard.
Okay,
But as it relates to environmental enforcement and inspectors coming out to educate and take a look at the rodent issue or infestations, they'll come out and talk to you as well, and then they'll put abatement around your home if it's found to be proper for that. And so that telephone number is 313-876-0426. And you can give them a call between the hours of 8 and 5 or 4, I think. And the biggest thing is that when you're reporting something to environmental enforcement, if you're reporting someone else's issue, you need to have an address. So you can't say, I'm calling about the house down the street. You have to be able to say, I'm calling about the house address. Everything is confidential, but you want to be as specific as possible when you're reporting these things to our inspectors, okay? Any questions?
I want you to understand, it's not my problem. It's slumlord next door.
No, I heard you. I
Okay,
did
you
understand
did
that, but I
right.
thought it was a great opportunity for me to share about this. If someone else was having this issue with their home, because sometimes the house next door can bring in critters to your home. So that's what I don't want, if that happens to be the case, you'll have a contact number that you can call to get abatement. So that's all I wanted to share.
I have a question for you, and I don't know if you can answer it or not. I have someone must have moved out of a home and have these 2 cute little dogs running the neighborhood. So me being sympathetic, and they look a little pitiful, started feeding, which I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But that doesn't bother me because I know what I was getting myself into, but that's not the surprise. I've been calling animal control. They did come out. And he made as much effort as I did. Okay, so I'm out there, so I saw them. So nobody have to tell me, I'm telling you what I saw, okay? So they said, okay, well, we have to have a different type of truck to catch them. Okay. I've been calling, and I call every day to get a stat. So now they told me that the truck was coming out yesterday. They told me the truck was coming out today. Now they're asking me to keep the dog where, close to my address, because my address is the one that was given, which I'm okay with that. But, I mean, come on now, I can do it in 2 weeks by myself. Now, if this is your job, why is it taking you so long
to get these dogs. And the dogs can probably go to like a shelter or a rescue because they're not mean dogs, they're not vicious dogs. If a girl and boy, they're staying together, they're just, if you just catch them now, they can be salvaged. You can, you know, why? Is it me? Why is it taking so long?
Can't get any solution from animal control. They do have a Detroit dog rescue. You can look up their number and give them a call. Excuse me?
There's a note number in our.
Yeah, but they have a Detroit dog rescue.
Well, really, that number.
I don't have it right
I
now.
don't have that with the hand, but make sure you have it.
They will come out and rescue dogs too.
They don't want to.
Detroit dog rescue.
Detroit dog rescue.
Okay, 'cause I mean, you look for, and they cute little butt, and that's how they got my little heart. They just plugged in my heart. I don't know, I don't know, they're not pit bulls. That, and, but they're good. I mean, they're tan and white, and there's some people, one is a little short and fat, the other one's kind of skinny and a little tall, but they, you see, if you don't see one without the other, I think something's wrong, because they
Yeah,
together for the last. Nope, they don't have no tags, no collars, and they've been rotating about the last month. And I think somebody can let them loose, or, you know, but they're just kind of hanging around like my house, my neighbor's house, so we're trying, because at one point you can start seeing the real, and that's what got me. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this I'm not gonna do. So that's when I started feeding them, and then my neighbor starts to feed them. But now it's to the point, I've been calling for 2 weeks now. Now, come on, I can catch dogs in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so in situations like that, and this goes for everybody that's here, if you are working with the department and it's over a week and you're not getting a response that they're saying they're gonna give you, you can feel free to contact our office and I can start working with you to advocate an answer or getting something that a result is what I'd like to say. And so in this situation, I would contact the director of animal control or whoever's managing that to kind of find out what's going on. And then working with Ms. Jackson to get them to come out together, you know, to address the issue.
And the part about it is that somebody answers, and every time I call, they're really nice. They answer, they give me an update, they give me a reference number. So when I call, what's your reference number? Okay, a truck has been dispatched. Well, you know, a truck has been dispatched 2 days ago. Why am I still waiting on the truck? Throwing that over them. They're not vicious, they're not mean. It's not that difficult. I mean, if push comes to shove, I could probably put them in my car and take them somewhere. That's how, because like now they follow me. So when I go out to take out the trash, they follow me like they're mine. So everybody says, oh, those are your dogs? Well, no, but they've gotten so used to me now. And every morning they come, they bark to let me know they're in the driveway, and then I'm here, and they're ready to eat. And they sit there in my driveway and they bark. And then I sit, and I have to have dishes. I ain't got dishes, and they go out there, they have their food. So
Exactly. That's why.
your dog. So, and that's why it should be so easy to catch them, because I'm giving you the opportunity to come get the dogs, I told you where they are. So it shouldn't be this long, and now it's getting cold. It's gonna start raining tomorrow. Really, come on.
Okay, so let's try to work on this issue. If you want to send me a quick email and I can forward it over to them, then.
Okay.
And if, let's start there.
Okay, Ms. Sessions, I just have one thing for you, please.
Yeah, 2 people spoke at the same time. I'm gonna go, that's the number, no, I'm just joking.
Go ahead.
I had a complaint in where the company had took out a light post. So they came last Friday. They put in a light post. So the people who put in the posts are different from the people who run the line for it to come on. I really, really, really need that light on.
Okay, I can take the address and send Public Lighting Authority to find out.
That's who it is, and right in front of 6770 East Dates. I need that street light on like last week.
So they put a new light up and
They put a new post, but they had took the post out. And that post been out over 6-8 months, almost, yeah. And so I've been complaining because it's black back there. And that's the way I have to come in and out. And I do get a reflection from that light in between those two buildings to give me a little bit to see if anybody had behind the bushes they won't cut and come in my yard.
So where's the light located?
On East Davis.
So is it, it's on East Davis?
It's on East
Okay,
Davis.
that's perfect. And you said the address was?
6770.
Thank you.
I just want to know when they're gonna put the light and the line up.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll send them out. Thank you. And
Okay, before I get to you, is there anybody, I don't want to get my people on here. Is there anybody on Zoom that has any questions that they would like to bring up? Okay, we're gonna go back to the room.
My thing is, I have a question. I don't know, maybe she could help me, tell me what I can do. Okay, I have this big tree. It's not in my neighbor yard, it's not in my yard. But when I moved over to 84, they put all our land in, the fence. This is like between my neighbor on Gallican and me. It's not neither one of our property, but the tree is in there. You see what I'm saying? It's not on my property, not on the property next door. But when the wind fell, when I had to pay $800 to get my light put back up on the house. Because I thought DTE supposed to take care of that. I found out DTE don't take care of that. Nope. Yeah, I found that out real good. $800. You got to take it in. Go my pocket $800. But my thing is now, I need somebody to do something with those limbs. Because they call it in, probably ain't gonna be more than 800, probably gonna be 1,500 now, but that was about 5 years ago.
Is it on a vacant lot?
No, it's okay. You know how you get your property. When I moved over to 84, they put, we had alleys there. They closed the alley when I moved over to 84.
So it's in the house?
It's in the alley. So the tree limbs fell on my line and put it at the wall. So when I called DTE, I
wouldn't trim it off of the power line?
How?
DTE wouldn't trim it off the power line?
It's on my line. It's not on power line. The limbs is hanging from out of this alley little thing.
Over
Way
your
over
yard.
her yard. But my line run from my house to her yard.
So I can send something over to DPE.
They're not gonna do it. They already called it. They won't do it.
Okay, so the city does not cut or do anything as it relates to trees.
It's not on private property. Ain't nobody, it's in the alley. It's nobody's property.
So, but the alley.
But alley is your property. When they closed it out, it became part of that. Yep.
From the midline of the alley to the back of your property, 6 feet to you, 6 feet to the person up behind. You're responsible for that 6 feet from the midline to your property.
From my fence to the.
From your fence to the middle of the alley, behind your house, that's your 6 feet of the plot that the city gave you. And you're responsible for that.
So. I think they don't go back. I think it's been right. So if I can 15, they can have it every time. But I think any people cutting those trees down, they still cutting them going down the house. You know why they can't cut it because the tree limbs ain't coming.
Oh, the limbs are going over in your
So,
yard.
Right.
So it's not interfering with your line. So we tore down her line from the pole to the house,
So
right? Okay.
My responsibility.
Yeah.
It's not their responsibility.
Yeah.
They were trying to get out.
That's right.
That to do to tell me how much you make for some music. We had to go down there and get that from somewhere. I can remember my husband had from.
Yeah.
And we had to pay somebody $800 to get all that shit back up. So I don't have to go through that again, because that was like about 3 years ago. And I don't even roll back over there. Oh my God. Yeah, roll back over there again.
Yeah, you are responsible. She don't responsible with the limb and swept the limb cut off of her yard, but she had.
It's in her yard, but my line run through her yard to the boat.
Yeah, so you are.
That's gonna be a neighborly thing.
It is.
Yep.
And if you have, you can cut those limbs down because they're interfering in your property.
Not already interfere on the line.
Well,
You're not probably.
It's coming over in your yard.
Yeah, but it's still
No, it's not in my yard.
It's not in your yard.
It's not in my yard. It's in my neighbor's yard.
Oh, so that's even more confusing. So I thought they were in your yard.
Oh, they in my yard. It's those, it's in her yard, my neighbor's yard. Listen to me good. Now, if they fall, they're gonna fall on my line, and then they report. And they're gonna put it out of my house.
So then you have to, just like I had to do with my neighbor, I paid $3,000. Let's be clear, I paid 3,000, and I had to get limbs cut from my neighbor because of the tree over there. I had to cut everything that was on my side, plus the alley. I paid now $3,000, I paid about 5 years ago. So I can imagine what it's gonna cost now, but I paid for that out of my pocket because if anything falls, and technically now, if anything falls, it's gonna come over on my house because they gotta go up higher to cut the limbs up higher, and they didn't wanna go up that high. So I could still have an issue there, even paying the $3,000 that I already paid.
Yeah, I had a company.
So I had a company.
You said they charged it, they gonna charge me $800. He started way up at the top.
But I had a bunch of trees.
All the way down to the ground.
Yeah, I paid, but I had a bunch of trees that they had to cut.
No, but not with that situation.
All right, we got a question, and then we also have. Trees in the house. But the limbs are hanging over in your neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
And the wind blew the limb down off the tree from your neighbor's yard over into your yard. And tore out.
Not on my yard, but it took my electric line.
So her line runs through your neighbor's yard. Over your neighbor's yard. Yeah, right.
Okay, we're gonna keep moving, guys, so we gotta keep moving. We got another question, Mr. Leon Wire.
Yes. What about the trees that are on the grass between the sidewalk and the street?
And that's the city,
Right, that's the thing there.
so that's city property, and that's where the city will come in to trim or remove those trees, dependent on the survey. So if there's a tree that is between the city and the city berm and the sidewalk, you can contact me. I can send out an investigator to take a look, and they will either trim or have that tree removed, depending on what is found at the investigation. And then also, if the sidewalk is obstructing, if that tree is bringing that sidewalk up or creating damage, that can be investigated as well. That's the only tree that the city will touch. That is the only tree that the city will touch.
Okay, well, the tree in front of my house has 2 large limbs resting on several other limbs. Okay. And sooner or later they're gonna come down. Now I called the city and told them about it. Nothing has happened. So you're saying call you.
Can you text me at 313-348-8464 your property address?
Yeah.
And the limbs, and if you have a picture, you can send it over as well, and I'll send that in for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, now this sidewalk here.
Okay, hold on, we go on for that tree, because we got, yeah, we gotta get to James from Crime Stoppers. James, are you with us?
Yes, ma'am, I am still here.
Hi there, good evening. Thank you for attending today.
Thank you for having us. We're delighted to be here. I am Bishop James Williams. I am the faith-based program manager for Crime Stoppers of Michigan. Been there for about 9 years now. Just let me say, I'm delighted to hear the level of energy in this district. I wish I could be there. This is my home district. I grew up on Lumpkin, between Grigsdale and Robinwood. The church my dad pastored was on Lumpkin between Nevada and Grigsdale, and I'm a doughboy. So,
all right.
So I'm sitting here listening to you all call out streets, and I used to run up those streets, and the officer, the statute of limitations has passed. So I used to run from the officers down. And then the Lord saved me. I want to just share a little bit with you tonight about Crime Stoppers, and we're already an hour in, so I don't want to keep take much of your time. But it is amazing to me how much people do not know about Crime Stoppers of Michigan. Our main purpose, of course, is to help residents make their neighborhoods safer by taking bad people off the streets. We have our 1-800 speak up number, and if an individual has information pertaining to a crime that they have witnessed, whether it's a felony of any type, or murder, they can call that 1-800 number and give that information anonymously. And if the information that they give leads to an arrest, not a conviction, but leads to an arrest, then they are eligible for a cash reward. That's the basis of what we do. But Crime Stoppers of Michigan is a little unique from other Crime Stopper organizations across the country in that we believe that, you know, there are other things that we need to be involved in as well. We serve 7 counties here in Southeast Michigan. We work with over 200 police agencies here in Southeast Michigan. I'm trying to really encapsulate this presentation. Let me just take a moment to talk about anonymity, how you stay anonymous. You see something, for whatever reason, you're uncomfortable, leery of going to directly to the police, or maybe you need the reward. You call Crime Stoppers. You call the 1-800 number. You will not be calling our offices. You will be calling a call center. Currently, our call center is in Texas. We were in Canada. The reason we do that is because we don't want the person on the other end of the line to know anything about the neighborhood that you're calling from. It is anonymous. If you call the 1-800 number and give your name, the operator will end the call and tell you to call back without your name. The call center does not have phones with caller IDs. All right. So when you call in, they have no record of your phone number. They will give you a number. They will tell you several times that you need to write that number down, because that is the only way that you can be identified in our system. And if a reward is given, that's the only means that you have to collect that reward. They take your information. The information that you're giving about a crime. They know certain questions to ask. They forward that information to the appropriate police agency and the investigating officer. If the information that you have given leads to an arrest, then the officer informs us. We send that over to our rewards court, which meets once a month. The only purpose for our rewards court is to say, this information came in from this tip. This tipster is due a reward. Crime Stoppers basically has 2 levels of rewards. Most felonies are eligible for a reward of up to $1,000. You call on someone who has been carjacking in the neighborhood, or someone who has been breaking and entering. That reward is eligible for up to $1,000. If you call with information with regard to a murder, that is eligible for up to a $2,500 reward. Someone in the room has seen a time where the Crime Stopper reward has exceeded that. The rewards that go beyond that are the result of family members, friends, co-workers who add additional money. About a year and a half ago, we had an individual that was killed at one of the auto parts stores on Livernois. Their company kicked in additional money. We've had rewards that have gone as high for Paige Stalker. I remember her reward was right around $30,000. Well, $27,500 of that was from her family and members of the community. Crime Stoppers pays the same amount for all people. You have your number. You're told to call us back in a few weeks to begin checking on your tip. You call back in. My tip number is 123. Miss 123, your tip did lead to an arrest. You can claim your reward. The easiest way to claim your reward, what most people do, is go to a bank. We give you a list of participating banks. You go in, you go directly to management, you give them your tipster number. They will not ask you for any identification. If you have that tip number, they pull up that tip number, they see that you're eligible, that the person holding that tip number. So you don't share your tip number with anybody, because the person holding don't have your second nephew put your tip number up. You keep your tip number, because whoever has that number gets the money. They pull it up, they see that this tip number has a $2,500 reward. They go to the vault, they pull out $2,500, put it in an envelope, give it to you, you go about your business. We've had people who have had other methods of collecting their monies. The one that always sticks out in my mind, because it happened not long after I joined Crime Stoppers, and I just thought it was the strangest thing, but there was an older gentleman who did not trust banks, and he just didn't trust people. He lived over in the area of Chandler Park. I believe he probably lived on the street facing Chandler Park, but we don't know that. He had a bench that he sat on, and he instructed them to put his envelope under the trash can by that bench. They tried to talk him out of it. That's how he wanted his money. That's what they did. He got his money and called back to the office and said, I got it. But again, the process is anonymous from beginning to end. So that's a huge, the biggest part of what we do. We also, though, do a number of things that with the community. We have a speakers bureau, so we can come out. This past Saturday, I was at North End Church of God in Christ, talking to a group of women about senior scams. There are all kinds of ways that creative people come up with to try to separate you from your money. And as we get older, unfortunately, we become more susceptible to some of those. Right now, in the heat of an election that is 35, 36 days out, there are now scams that are being tied to election contributions. So you get a text message asking you to contribute to a candidate who's running for office in a different state. You might want to check and make sure that there's an individual running for that office in that state before you send in money. I encourage people, if you want to contribute to a candidate, if you want to contribute to a party, you go to their website rather than have them come to you. So we have a speakers bureau. We can come out and talk about senior scams. We can talk about ways to make your home safer. We have a number of issues that we talk about when we come. We also have a community of people that we have serviced who are forced to deal with the loss of their loved ones. So we have a family support group. Right now, our family support group is meeting about once every 2 or 3 months. Before COVID, we met just about every month, and we're slowly moving back into that. And that's just a group where people family members that we have serviced, individuals who are dealing with death, who are dealing with missing family members, or have been violated by crime in some other way, come together and we offer resources to try to help them deal with their grief. Nobody can tell you how long you're to grieve and how long you're to suffer. One of the greatest resources that you can provide for people who are dealing with this kind of thing is just other people who are dealing with the same thing that they can lean on. I'll share one more program with you, and then I'll be open to any questions that you have, because I'm excited about it. One of the issues that we're facing in our communities is that our people just don't seem to know how to handle conflict anymore. There have always been, because I was on and heard the conversation, it's interesting because it's one of the kinds of situations that developed that caused us to start thinking about conflict resolution and Crime Stoppers. You know, we had an issue. I was made privy to an issue. Two neighbors lived side by side 15 years, good neighbors. You know, one's grilling and handing bratwurst and hamburgers over the fence to the other. They've been good neighbors. However, one of them had, here we go with trees again, one of them had a tree that was right by their property line. The roots of that tree grew up under the property line. And I don't know if any of you have had the misfortune to have to deal with this, but I know in that neighborhood that there are still areas where the water line from your house to the alley is still that red clay pipe, the same fragile red clay pipe that some of you have your plants in your house. Those pipes have been in the ground for years. They're fragile. They're under a lot of pressure. The tree basically cracked the pipe. The pipe, the water department is not responsible for the pipe until it gets past that 6 feet that the officer was talking about. So neighbor number 2, that's his pipe. He's got to fix it. Neighbor number 2 doesn't have the money to fix the pipe. So what does he say? Neighbor number 1 needs to fix it because it's your tree. So now these 2 neighbors who have been sitting side by side for 15 years, they're feuding. I happen to know the NPO in that particular neighborhood, and he's like, these are great guys, you know, but I feel like something is going to happen. And we actually did a conflict resolution. We did a couple conflict resolution meetings with them to try to help them, not give them the solution to the problem, but help them have the tools to come up with solutions themselves. So we have developed a conflict resolution program. We're calling it Pathways to Resiliency and Peace. And we're going to be offering this training at churches throughout the city. We have 4 pilot churches that we're starting up with, and you will be excited to know that the first Pathways to Resiliency and Peace workshop is going to be held at King David Baptist Church there on Nevada and Sunset on October 29th. Pastor Sterling Brewer and King David, you know, they're very active in that community. They've done just a tremendous amount of work there at Pershing High. They're well known. And so we wanted to start with churches that already had a footprint in the community. The first session, as I said, will be October 29th. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have professional therapists and trainers who will come in to do that part. We have some other things that we'll be sharing. That will be a general training that just kind of makes people aware of conflict resolution strategies that you can use in interpersonal relationships. At the end of that, we're going to solicit for individuals who might want to be trained. And our hope is that we can bring people together and actually train people to do conflict resolution in their community, on their block, in their church, in their home, with their family members, and in our schools, so that some of these interactions that turn into much bigger situations where people are getting hurt, wounded, and sometimes killed, maybe we can stop some of those things before they start. These are the kinds of things that Crime Stoppers of Michigan is trying to do, in addition to the 1-800 speak up number that helps us get bad people off the streets. Any questions or comments that I could answer?
We have none in the room, and
What's the 1-800 number?
1-800 speak up. Let me pull up my if you want the numbers, let me look at my phone. So that's 1-800 773 2587. 773-2587.
Okay, do we have any other questions on Zoom? No, Okay, go ahead, Commissioner, you had a question?
Yeah, the question I had, I won't be able to make it on the 29th, but what are some other dates, Bishop Williams?
That's the only date that we have right now. I'm going to put my number and my email in the chat. If you want further information about those sessions, I'll make sure that we get them to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, any other questions?
Sergeant
Concerns?
McClendon had a question.
Who did?
Sergeant McClendon.
Sergeant McClendon, you have a question?
Go ahead, Matt.
Go. You still on, it look like you're still on mute.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I was trying to hit the button, but what question did I have? Who said I had a question? Speak up or forever hold your peace. Because I didn't really have a question, gentlemen, but that conflict resolution should be a good thing to go to. You know, because we as police officers have to resolve conflicts every day. And I think Sergeant Spruce gets tired of me giving everybody his number, tell him to call him.
And Sergeant McClendon, we are going to be reaching out to the NPOs in District 11 as well. We're not going to do something like that without making them aware. One of the reasons that we want to go to Pastor Brewer's church is because I know he has a good relationship with that precinct. So we'll make sure that you all are invited to participate as well.
And where is your church?
I pastor Spirit and Truth Christian Ministries, 4330 West Davison, off of Livernois.
Okay, well, you can also join us and work with us too.
Absolutely.
We'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay, we do have one question. Yes, ma'am.
For Bishop Williams, isn't that the same type of training that the Black Family Development been doing for years? Because I took training. It sounds like the same thing. You know,
I'm sorry, I couldn't. Is that the same type of training?
Isn't it the same type of training that the Black Family Development been doing for years? Because I went to the training.
Yeah.
Restorative practices is a little different than what we're going to be doing. I've been through restorative practices training. But even if it is, we're at a point in our city where I just believe everybody needs to do what they can do. This is something that we're going to be able, because again, I'm the faith-based program manager for Crime Stoppers of Michigan. So I work with a number of churches and pastors And we want, rather than to have people come to a central location, we want to put this kind of training in their communities via the churches in their neighborhoods.
Okay. You have charge for that? Oh, that's great.
No,
No,
no charge.
there's no charge.
No, no, absolutely not.
And what is the time again?
Time is from
10 to 1.
10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October the 29th.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, and we do have one last one for tonight, and I'm so sorry, I don't remember your name, but I remember you from last month, but you're with the U.S. District Attorney's Office, and you had an update you wanted to provide, if you'd like to come up. Sure.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Diane Prince from the U.S. Attorney's Office, the federal prosecutors. Good to see you again. My colleague Craig Waniger is also online on Zoom. I just wanted to give you a very brief update because we talked about the FFL burglaries last time and all the guns that got off the street. We are continuing to investigate, but so far 6 individuals have been charged. And so that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg because it was hundreds of guns, but we're continuing to move forward. And every time there's an investigation, we try to build off of that.
Definitely. Thank you.
And then I think that's Craig.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Miss Jackson.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you
I'm-
again.
It's nice to see you also. I'm sorry I'm not there in person. I had a few things to take care of in my office. Diane is exactly right, and I appreciate her pointing that out, that we've charged those folks. Diane and her team have done a great job on that. The one thing I wanted to add on a different topic, and that is really to follow up something Miss Jackson said that you said earlier about using all of our resources to identify shooters. And we had talked about people in drive-by shootings and things like that. One area that fits well with some of the work you've done there is Ring videos. And I know you gave out some Ring surveillance cameras the last time. And it sounds like that may be something you do again. For those who have those cameras, if there's a shooting in your neighborhood, please let the police know that you've got a surveillance camera out there. Those are things we've had success in looking at and identifying people who are shooting. And we can bring those cases often in federal court. If it turns out that the person involved in the shooting was prohibited from possessing a firearm or something like that, we can bring those cases in ways that Wayne County can't. Wayne County often needs a victim or something like that in order to pursue an assault charge. We can bring a felon in possession charge if the person that was shooting was a felon or otherwise prohibited. But the only way we can do that is if we can identify those shooters, and Ring videos have been really invaluable for us. So if you have those, please take a look at them or let the police know and they can look at them and we can gather and collect that evidence.
Yes, and our goal is to get some more out there. So I'm trying to get more out there for us.
I think that's a wonderful goal. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you both. Appreciate it.
One thing to add about those doorbells, if you're on Ring and you know how you can get messages. So the Detroit Police Department, we do monitor. So if you guys send messages to the Detroit Police Department, it's broken down into precincts as well as throughout the city. So, you know, we'll get those messages, some detectives, even myself and some of the other MPOs. So if you want to send some messages through the app or whatever, rather than call us, we'll get it too, but definitely call us and share the information.
Okay, cool. All right, any question? Zoom, any question? All right, thank you both so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Young lady from Vernon Chapel.
Vernon Chapel, you want to talk about this, the flyer?
Yes,
You want to come up here to the front, please? Thank you.
good evening. My name is Bernita Little, and I'm a missionary at Vernon Chapel AME Church, which is at 18500 Norwood in Greensdale. On October 30th, at our 10:30 service, we will have Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy. She will be our speaker for Missionary Day. This is our annual day. We do it once a year. I have flyers and it should be really nice. And that's all I got to say. All right, well, thank you. And thank you. Yeah, the service started at 10:30. This is Missionary Leslie Solomon. We both go to Vernon Chapel. And this is our annual day. We do this once a year. And if you're not busy or don't have any other obligations, just come over to Vernon Chapel. And we start at 10:30. And we know we out. What time we get out? We try to get out within an hour. Yeah, we try to get out by at least 12 o'clock, 12:15. And thank you so very much. Thank you.
All right, do we have any other questions? Do we have any other questions or concerns or any information that needs to be shared? It's about 5 minutes to 8, so I'll give you guys like a 5-minute leeway. I see a hand up, Dr. Moore. Take yourself off mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, can the lady give a day? What day is that they're gonna have that missionary day over there in Vernon Chapel?
That's the 5th Sunday.
October the 30th. It's
Oh,
on
Yep, the 5th Sunday.
Day before Halloween.
Yep.
okay, and can I make another announcement? For those that want to take their children out for Halloween, they're gonna be giving candy also out at Farwell Recreation Center. And I think they said that they were gonna be giving out the candy from 4 to 7. And I believe their address is 2711 East Outer Drive. So if anybody have any questions, they can call over there and talk to Miss Loretta at 313-628-2028. And that's gonna be October 31st, 4 to 7.
All right, we appreciate you, Dr. Moore. I thank you kindly. Okay, so that's you ready?
Yeah.
Cool, come on.
Yes, ma'am.
Give us some info.
Thank you, President. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Doing good, thank you.
Good. I'm from the Board of Police Commissioners. My name is Commissioner Cedric Banks, District 3. And my phone number is 313-920-4237. And the Board of Police Commissioners was established in 1974 by Mayor Coleman Young. And we also meet Detroit Public Safety Headquarters, 1301 3rd Street, Suite 767, Detroit, Michigan. You can also call 313-596-1830. If you have any complaints with the police department or a police officer, we are here to assist you. Now, I've been dealing with the 11th Precinct for many years. I know Sergeant Spruce, D-Rod, these people have been a blessing to me even before I became a police commissioner. They were a blessing to my life. I know Kim Jackson, it's a solid precinct here. They don't have any problems. Nothing on the radar. They've been a blessing to the community. And they get after it. They boots on the ground. They get after it. So we appreciate that. And also, you can also file your complaint at the BOPC office of the Chief Investigator at 900 Morale Pleasant Street, phone number 313-596-2499. And also, if you want to come out to the meetings, The Detroit Board of Police Commissioner meetings meet every Thursday at 3 p.m. at the Detroit Public Safety Headquarters, 1301 3rd Avenue, except for the second Thursday of the month when it holds its community meetings. Tomorrow will be one of our community meetings. We will be meeting at, I think, the 7th precinct we will be meeting at. We meet all over. 11 precinct, 7 precinct, 6 precinct. We meet all over the city. So that's a blessing right there. And for meeting schedules, videos and minutes and Zoom, you can visit www.detroitmi.gov BOPC. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. So the precinct address is 3501 Shank.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm learning. I'm just getting in this year.
Yeah, all right, we got you.
I see you. You gonna pray us out too? If the president wanted.
Yeah, and it is 8 o'clock. Oh, I have one question right here. Yes, ma'am.
How do we go about getting on Zoom that we get?
How do you go about?
Okay.
We'll have flyers in the back.
You see that gentleman with that nice pink cap on?
We'll have
He's gonna
flyers.
give you he'll give you a tutorial on how to get on it
Yeah.
after we dismiss.
Yeah, we'll get you in. Okay, it is now 8 o'clock. Yes, ma'am.
You know what? I just want to make this announcement. You know, at our church, I go to Vernon Chapel. In the missionary society at our church, our only fundraiser is African American Expression. The monies that we raise, we help Spurgeon High School and we help Alternative for Girls. These catalogs come out 2 times a year, and this is our Christmas catalog, and they just came out. I'm making the announcement here because on the 5th Sunday, I will make the same announcement, you know, about these catalogs. So if anybody would like one, just see me, and I will be more than happy to give you one. And like I said, we've been doing this, how many years, Leslie?
50 years.
Yeah, 5th or 6th year, we've been doing this. And we do help Persian High School, so we are on board with them, and we do help Alternative for Girls. And thank you so much. Just wanted y'all to know, I got these nice, and these are yours to keep. Okay, awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Take
Thank
one
you.
out for me.
Thank you.
Okay, so now it is 8 o'clock. And we're gonna call it an evening. But one thing I want to say is make sure you guys stay safe. It's getting dark early. You know our routine.
Yes.
It's getting dark early. That means you gotta be a little extra careful now. I'm gonna try to work on getting Alexa plug, where if you're, you can plug in a light and you can control it from your phone so that you don't have to go into a dark home. So I'm gonna work on that as well, along with our Ring doorbell, try to get, especially with our kids coming home from school. A lot of times it's dark when they get in, mom or dad still may be at work. So that's just a way for them to come in and not be in the dark. So just be careful. We'll see you guys at Halloween, or bring in candy, donations, whatever you want to do. But if not, I will see you next month. Everybody stay safe and have a good month, okay? And we're gonna get prayer. We're gonna have a prayer to lead this meeting tonight from Commissioner Banks.
All right. Father, we thank you for the meeting today. We thank you for the president, God. We thank you for the vision that you've given her. Continuously strengthen her, build her up. We thank you for the officers, the MPOs, God, how they're dedicated to this community, God, as men and women of integrity here in the District 3 area. Father, we thank you for the audience. We thank you for increasing the audience. We thank you for those out in Zoom. We thank you, God, and we even thank you, God, for covering this precinct here, covering every officer here at number 11, covering every officer by your blood, by your spirit, God. Let life and your protection rest upon them, God, as they're on the highways and the byways, out in the streets, God, patrolling the District 3 area, God. We thank you for your hand covering in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Good to come back.
Go ahead, I'm ready.